What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a video update of the project ZenCash, which is now Horizen. I covered the project back in, I believe, April, so I kind of just wanted to do an update to figure out what they've been doing, what they've got going on. For the sake of the video, I'm going to refer to the project as Zen still, even though they have refreshed or rebranded to Horizen. The ticker symbol is still Zen anyway, so it just makes sense for me so that I don't get confused. Also, a quick reminder, please hit that like button and that subscribe button if you haven't. I put out new content pretty frequently and I would hate for anybody to miss out. As always, I really do appreciate all the support that you guys are showing me. It keeps me going, gives me fuel to make more videos. I want to do a quick shout out to the people that sent me this shirt. They're called Crypto Hypebeasts. I actually tried to tweet them and tag them on Twitter thanking them for the shirts, but unfortunately, I can't seem to find their Twitter handle or any handles at all, and I think I actually might have deleted the email. So if you see this, thank you. Feel free to reach out to me so I can thank you personally. I appreciate it. As a reminder, I do have a Discord server. If you guys want to chat, you want to talk about something, maybe you have a disagreement on an opinion, please hop in there. I will leave all the links down below as usual. My normal disclaimer still applies here. I'm not a financial advisor. All investments have inherent risk, and please always do your own research. My videos are for entertainment purposes only. All right, so on to the updates. What's been going on with Zen? So this may not be news for some people because this happened quite a few months ago, but Zen was actually listed on Coinomi Wallet. Coinomi Wallet is an open source application that allows you to store, convert, and trade cryptocurrency on your mobile device. Coinomi features support for 150 coins and has continuous integration of other cryptocurrencies and tokens. It sounds to me kind of like an Ethos wallet. I actually downloaded it to test it out because I'd heard of it, but I'd never used it prior to this. Pretty simple, very easy to use, kind of what you'd expect as far as normal UI goes for a cryptocurrency app. But, you know, any Streamline or any third-party company or group that's creating stuff, that's bringing use cases in for these projects is very important. So if you're interested, I'd suggest going to download the app. Also, a point to mention for some people who may not know, ZenCash or Horizen is actually on Ledger too. Ledger's had support for them for quite some time now, but if you didn't know, go check that out as well. Bigger news that most of you probably did hear about, on June 2nd, Zen fell victim to a 51% attack. At approximately 8:26, the Zen team immediately executed mitigation procedures to significantly increase the difficulty of future attacks on the network. For those of you who don't know, let me quickly define this. What is a 51% attack? Well, this is when a malicious miner acquires sufficient hash rate to inject fraudulent blocks into the blockchain. The typical attack profile is the criminal will privately mine a sequence of blocks, send a valid transaction of his own funds to an exchange, trade that cryptocurrency for another, and withdraw the funds. Basically, this is creating a double spend is another transaction name that you might hear for it. The key point to mention that they wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of is that there's no new coins being created, only the criminals own coins that have been manipulated or spent twice, meaning that your coins are safe and there was no issues with your personal holding of ZenCash during the attack. Rob Viglione, actually, he handled this really well. He put out a great article here explaining what happened, what to expect, understanding that it's not a good event and there have been some big misconceptions about what it really means, what we're doing, and what this means for the project in the long run. I have to say, I think they handled it exceptionally well. I mean, it's not a good scenario for any project, but to be honest with you, he went and he did a ton of YouTube streams. He went on different YouTube channels, did interviews. He was on my friend's podcast, the Crypto Basic podcast, and he talked about the 51% attack. He did a very good job of reaching out to the community, answering all the questions, and making sure that there was no ifs or buts or concerns from the community, just to restore confidence and kind of understand that, you know, again, it wasn't a good situation, but I think they handled it best case scenario. Some final facts here to mention. No coins were created out of thin air. The event was fraud against a specific victim. Your private keys, messages, and all of your Zen off exchanges are perfectly safe. What are they doing to prevent this in the future? So here's 3 solutions that they're currently working on or that are on the table for them to figure out what makes the most sense. The first one I don't quite understand because it's a little bit more technical than I am accustomed to, but parallel blocks reported on the network, I'd assume that this has to do with double spend and maybe just being more sensitive to that. Introduce a penalty metric for delayed block reporting. This probably makes it easier for people to double spend if things aren't being reported simultaneously. Use our node system as a sort of notarization service that effectively layers proof of stake on top of the current proof of work. So I'm guessing these are ideas that haven't been put into place yet, but are definitely things that they're thinking about in the future that may solve this problem or prevent it from happening again. There's actually a website that got very popular not too long ago, about the same time that this happened actually, that shows the proof of work 51% attack cost. Essentially, it shows what the cost would be for a 51% attack on most larger proof of work projects. They do stipulate that the attack would only work if NiceHash had enough capacity for the attack, which is why some of these numbers are grayed out. but it is interesting to see what projects could fall victim to this. It's also interesting just to see what algorithms are being used for what projects. Now, I'm not downplaying the severity of 51% attack, but I did find this article that shows some projects just in 2018 alone that have experienced a 51% attack. I do think that they may have forgotten that, let's see, where is it? Verge on May 22nd. Oh, that's my birthday. They may have forgotten that Verge, I believe, got 51% attacked 3 times within like the course of a month. So this may not be 100% accurate, but this just goes to show you Electroneum, Monocoin, or Monaco coin, whatever, I can't ever say it. Bitcoin Gold, Verge, Litecoin Cash, ZenCash. So, ZenCash isn't the only platform to fall victim to this. In July, they released an article titled ZenCash, DAO Treasury, and Voting System Prototype Delivered. So pretty much what this meant, or what this sums up, is ZenCash's research and development partner, Input Output Hong Kong, or IOHK. You guys primarily know them because IOHK also manages Cardano. They collaborated together to develop a prototype version of an on-chain decentralized autonomous organization treasury system for ZenCash. They're going to be working with IOHK to set up this system and move it on to the Zen network to engage and involve the community in its funding decisions. This is very cool because, as it explains here, anyone in the community can submit a proposal for consideration. Stakeholders can review these proposals, they get passed on, and they get sent to the next stage where Zen holders can vote on where the funding gets placed. Big deal. This gives a lot more, obviously, autonomy within a project. The community can vote on things that they think are worth spending the treasury money on. It can help pursue better things for the projects, marketing for the project, whatever they may be, whatever the project is interested in. But it definitely gives some democracy and some freedom to the project to actually do what the community wants. And it's definitely a pro for me. Most projects with a DAO I'm very interested in. Any voting, any treasury model, because to me it really means that they want a hands-off approach. And I know that fundamentally ZenCash or Horizen does want a hands-off approach. ZenCash values privacy and decentralization, and that's why the team is implementing a decentralized decision-making process. So right there, pretty plain. Then on July 6th, ZenCash released their new white paper, which was featuring the supernodes, or the beta version of supernodes. They recently announced that their plans to add supernodes to the ZenCash network by the end of 2018. By doing this, and in combination with making improvements on the existing ZenCash secure node network, we are setting ourselves up to be much more than a cryptocurrency. So the purpose of the supernodes is that they're obviously going to be more powerful than the secure nodes. They'll be tasked with managing key network and system functions, including hosting multiple services on sidechains, tracking and measuring secure node uptime, and queuing the node payment schedule for miners. Supernodes will advance the decentralization of the ZenCash network and ensure that the utility of not only the ZenCash as a currency, but also its future services that are layered in infrastructure. So basically what they're doing is they're creating a new tier of nodes, which are obviously it's going to allow more decentralization because there's going to be more people or more units on the network working on the network, stabilizing and securing the network. I forget the actual statistics and where ZenCash falls as far as nodes compared to other projects, but on their secure nodes little website here, if you look at global, their total is 16,544. That's a lot of nodes. And then on August 22nd, finally, they released their brand refresh, or their redo or upgrade or whatever you want to call it. So they renamed, their brand expansion. They renamed their project to Horizen. They aren't calling a rebrand because they're not departing from the past. They're crafting a new brand, and they wanted to keep their Zen heritage close. And so obviously, although their new word is Horizen, the cryptocurrency is still Zen, still ticker, which I think was actually a genius idea because it helps to differentiate this project from every other Z-related cryptocurrency or privacy coin, but also while keeping the name so that people aren't too confused, and so that the information from other articles or whatever, stuff that people have written on the line in the past is still going to be somewhat applicable. So I think it was a good idea. Just different enough to make a point, but still close enough to home that people won't get too confused. If you have some questions, they have a basic FAQ here. The ticker symbol, changing the ticker, is my Zen safe? Will my wallet address remain the same? All this stuff is very important questions that I'm sure a lot of people have already had answered. But if you still have questions, I will again leave all the links for this video in the description below so that everybody has some reference. So I know it's only been a couple months, like 4 or 5 months since I covered this project, but I figured since the 51% attack and the brand refresh, I had enough information to go over the project again and really kind of give it a second look. Plus, as most of you know, I'm a huge ZenCash or Horizen fan. A lot has to do with the fact that I like that they're a privacy coin, but also they're making platforms, which I think is going to diversify their use case. Not to mention they're working with IOHK, and everybody knows that I adore Cardano, so I think it's great that they've got those geniuses on their side too. All in all, I think they're making fantastic progress, and I think they've handled all of the, the hurdles or the speed bumps that they've been dealing with over the last few months very well. So I look forward to the future, and I can't wait to see what they've got going on. But that about wraps it up for me today, so I want to thank everybody for watching as usual, and I will see all you guys soon.